Hi guys, now that the winter is almost here, how about we warm up a bit by looking at last summer's best moments. And let's start by the beginning, launch day. Nice day, but really windy. The inspection was scheduled for this day, so I had to sail her regardless. I put 2 reefs on, and after the inspection by the maritime authorities, I was asked to show that Foragers could sail. And so I went out and did exactly that. I was a little nervous at the start since it was really windy and this was the first time sailing her, but she proved really easy to sail. And the 2 reefs helped a lot, of course. And soon I was having great fun, guys. Actually, I had a blast. Next, we'll have a look at Forager's first day out. I was playing with the rigging when I saw Bruno just off the sailing club. I didn't even have cleats for the downhaul yet. The line was just tied to the gunwales, as you can see there. But he suggested we sail to Rat Island, and on such a nice sunny day, the offer of having a drink at the island was just irresistible. So he set course and I just followed him. And Bruno kept his promise, nice ice-cold gin on a scorching hot day. Now that's what I call a drink. Cheers, guys! We then kept sailing to Montijo, and as the wind picked up, Forager took off for the first time. It felt awesome. I could even hear the daggerboard singing. Yes, that noise is Forager, not a powerboat, although it looks like one sometimes. Okay, first overnighter at the island, first time using the lazy jacks, and I couldn't be happier with them. They let me keep the sail off the boat, so I could clean it and have my gear all at hand and organized. After setting up my tarp, I roasted some nice chorizo and just enjoyed the moment. The simple things, guys, the simple things. A few days later, and I found this little multi-hull lost in the estuary. Meet St. Class. A Hithia 14 James Warren design, and this one was built by my friend Edgar. We sailed side by side for a while, and I was really pleased to see that both boats were equally fast under these conditions. I'm pretty sure if the wind picked up a bit and I had to ease some main sheets, it would just rocket past me. But that is still something that he's gonna have to prove someday. We then stopped and spent some time looking at each other's boats and craftsmanship before it was time to go our separate ways. And I had a real good time sailing back home that day. And the day came when I decided to capsize my boat. It had never happened before accidentally, so under calm and controlled conditions, I did it a few times. I still don't know why people think it was done in shallow water. Guys, this is 10 feet deep here. Really, I'm not kidding. Anyway, it was great fun capsizing it and trying to get back on board in all different ways. Sometimes you didn't even want to capsize. The boat was actually really stable once on its side, and really easy to ride up and get back on board from the daggerboard. A lot easier than coming from the transom. Once I was back on board, it took me about 5 minutes to bail it all out completely and ready to sail. And one of my top picks has to be the day that Cabra Cega met Forager. Pedro called me a few days earlier and asked me if we could meet and go sailing, so we agreed to meet at the sailing school. After some chit-chats and quick rigging, we were really eager to have some fun. It was a nice windy day, so we both put one reef on, and what a great day we had. Pedro's setup was really nicely tuned and he gave me quite a few tips afterwards. We have seen sail together quite a few times and have been lucky with the wind. Like here, another awesome day and probably the fastest Forager has sailed yet. Or maybe here, I don't know, I'll take a GPS next time. And of course, the day the goats beat 2 racing dinghies on a friendly club race. All dinghies have a similar sail area, so it was an interesting race. Even after a few screw-ups on my side, on both races, I was still able to recover and finish second, leaving the topper and the Vorian well behind. Eat that! Pedro sailed really well and won both races. Well done, dude. All in all, goats 2, racing dinghies 0. But still, my top pick has to be the latest adventure, sailing to Lisbon and back. That day had it all. It started with a beautiful sunrise and the colors on the sky were just breathtaking. In the afternoon the wind really picked up, so I put a reef on. Still, I almost capsized inside the marina, and that was just the start. The tide turned against the wind, creating a heavy chop, and the gusts became a nightmare to deal with. Ask Bruno. And you won't even see the worst of it, because the batteries had run out and we just couldn't replace them under those conditions. Finally, after almost 4 hours close haul, the gusts stopped and we started filming again. And believe it or not, we ended up having to paddle back home that day, but we were rewarded with a beautiful sunset. There's obviously a lot of great moments worth mentioning, like the regattas aboard Princesa, or just the fun days. God, I love summer. And of course, a lot of other great moments on my goats, like the first time foraging and cooking some clams. Delicious, by the way. Or how about sailing to a fishing spot, first time ever, and I actually caught some. Fish on! Also the abandoned plantation trip with Bruno. Making a high-performance catamaran. Guys, I loved every moment I spent building this boat, sailing it, fishing, camping, foraging, you name it. It's all about having fun. That's all that matters. Forager was the best I could have asked for this past summer, and together with some awesome sailing buddies, thanks dudes, it made for some of the best moments ever. I'll try to keep Forager out of the workshop as long as I can this year, but she will eventually have to go in. But we'll talk about that some other time. Guys, stay safe and I'll see you next week.